This video has been inspired by conversations I've had with several skeptical players over the use of mods. Some outright accuse me of cheating to stay alive while they suffer and die, and to that I say, I stream every time I play. So if you're in my Xbox party right now, you can see everything I'm doing if you want. And the channel also has dozens of unedited live streamed hours where you can see me get injured, plagued, killed, and under the same peril as you are. You may be one of the skeptics that pose the question, you say no modded guns, but you're in a modded world? No mods, but you're using mods? How does that make sense? I've had that question. And basically it boils down to the fact that the term mod is a bit overloaded. And State of Decay mods fall into two basic categories, really. Those that give the player an advantage, like modded guns, and those that give the player a challenge, modded world. And even though they might share the label mod, modded guns and modded world are not the same thing. So in essence, the question becomes, why are you modding? Do you want an easier experience like modded guns, or do you want a challenging experience like playing in a modded world? For me, after learning how infection resistance works and some relatively unknown game mechanics, which you just saw right there with the ferals, for me, soloing typical lethal became too easy, and then add more people in multiplayer, and then typical lethal just might as well have been a screen zone. So I ended up learning how to mod myself and arrived at the world that I now call extra lethal. My goal for modding was to make a balanced, fun, yet challenging world for 4 players, and the overall world mods ended up extending the life of the game for me and other players who want the challenge. So, with all that said, there's really a deeper conversation to be had about building a strong community to survive a modern world, or even typical lethal. And there's even some game mechanics you probably don't know about that can up your game significantly. So, next, let's talk about how to build a strong community and some tactics to survive this world. In case you didn't know, let's talk about infection resistance and then how you can get it into your community. Everyone's seen this white bar, right? The one that fills up as plague zombies hit your survivor, then eventually turns into a timer until the survivor dies. That mechanic is called infection resistance, and the game does a crappy job of explaining it, which is unfortunate because it's so powerful. Think of it like hit points or health. Every survivor starts with 100 points of infection resistance, but there's many ways to increase that resistance so the bar fills up slower. Like hero bonuses, hygiene standards giving plus 100 resistance, and cleaning charts giving plus 50 resistance. Resist can also be obtained through community skills. That's the fifth skill at the bottom. Skills like the hygiene and medicine specialization pathology both add 50 to the hero bonus 150 and the survivor's base 100 for a total of 350 resist. So that white bar would take 3.5 times longer to fill up. So let's go back to that survivor with no extra infection resistance and compare her to a survivor whose total resist is 600. The no resist survivor's timer starts after like 5 hits from a feral, while the survivor with the extra resistance, watch him just tank that feral long after the other survivor dies. I gave a few examples of where to get infection resistance, but I should also mention that the Red Talon survivors can get a hero bonus called Kitchen Patrol for plus 150 resist. Sorry, I don't have a screenshot of that one. Let's discuss how survival in this modded world is really a matter of efficiency. Like, how many zombies can you kill with the fewest amount of resources? So, consider a gun, at best, can pierce up to 3 targets. So, theoretically, if every bullet shot was a perfect lined-up headshot of 3 zombies, the absolute best zombie per bullet kill ratio you could get is 3-to-1. Of course, getting 3 headshots per bullet is a rare situation, and at the other end of the spectrum are people who go full auto, shooting like 3+ bullets on a single zombie, which completely lowers the gun's efficiency to even less than a 1-to-1 ratio. But look at how many zombies these fuel bombs are killing. Just 4 fuel bombs took out 53 zombies, which is, what, 13, a little over 13-to-1 ratio? 4 pipe bombs can stagger a jug so it can be executed. And when a pipe bomb hits a jug, the jug does that sort of stunned step back animation, and it's basically stun locked so it can't charge at you before the execution. And since the pipe bomb is an area effect weapon, it can hit and stagger multiple jugs. So just shoot the first jug because the execute animation is too long to use on both of them. Pipe bombs are also good on ferals that want to come play with you in the juggernauts. One pipe bomb will stagger a feral so it can be executed, and the AoE continues to hit the other jugs so they can all just be executed next. 4 pipe bombs and a few bullets to take down 2 jugs and a feral? That's about as efficient as it gets. There's also some little known game mechanics that, once you know them, will forever change the way you play State of Decay 2. Let's take a closer look at one of the videos from the intro. If you can start a feral burning, follow it up with a pipe bomb, timed to blow up about when the fire pool goes out, and any ferals caught in both of those weapons' radiuses will die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If you can master that technique, feral pack should never be a threat again. But if you can't do that, the Impaler is always a good backup. Just do the dodge move into the back of the car and watch the ferals melt. Which, while we're on the subject of dodging, let's look at how OP the dodge really is. Let's take a look at this sequence again. 2 jugs and a feral. When I'm behind the juggernaut, I drop a pipe bomb right as the feral joins the party. There you can see the pipe bomb on the ground. And before the pipe explodes, I hit the dodge maneuver to avoid getting knocked down, and allows me to finish the feral who got staggered by the pipe that I just dodged. You can also dodge through a screamer scream to avoid being staggered, and finish off that feral you just barely drop kicked. You can also dodge through car explosions, and when you're on fire, to put yourself out. Now let's watch this clip in slow motion that combines dodging through fuel bombs and pipe bombs to avoid knockdown and damage, while wiping out any zombies and ferals in the room. Just keep an eye on the damage. Drop a fuel bomb, switch to pipes, drop a pipe bomb, and just keep rolling around until everything's dead. There's 3 ferals dead, and I don't even know how many zombies. The last part of this video, I'll show my standard fit and how I build my base to support it. A melee weapon for their specialization, a high-capacity round rifle, a heavy weapon for the hearts, the highest the impact, the better, fuel bombs and pipe bombs for killing zombies, plague cures, painkillers, first aid kits, and energy drinks and stimulants for not becoming a zombie. First thing you probably notice is the stack size of 11. The bigger the stack size, the more consumables for killing zombies and staying alive, and I got this through a combination of the resourcefulness specialization, which gives +3 stack size for a total of 6, and I also have several people with the sewing community skill that adds 1 more stack size, and altogether that gives a stack size of 11. I make all ammo outposts, and make ammo in the workshop to craft 5.56 rounds and pipe bombs. I make as many farms and gardens as I can to grow food and meds to make energy drinks, painkillers, first aid kits, and plague cures. So that's how I get food, ammo, and meds. For materials, there's a game feature where a storage limit of 55 will prevent that resource from decaying, and it works for any resource. But I really only need it for materials because of that daily burn rate. So upgrading the base storage to level 3 heavy-duty storage adds 20 to materials storage, and now materials never decay, and the looted rucks can easily keep up with the burn rate, and just keep building up over time. For the fuel resource, nothing consumes it every day, and the map loot has enough gas cans to keep the car going, so I really only need the fuel resource for fuel bombs. And that makes me completely self-sufficient in building my standard kit. And at that point, I just need a handful of ingredients for them, and there's plenty of that when doing a full map loot. That's how I survive extra lethal. That plus friends. I don't solo this. I intended it to be a challenge for 4 people. But I hope if you came in to this video with a skeptical view of mods and modding, this gives you a new perspective on modding and how to build a strong community and new tactics to survive it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and talk to you more about it. Let's play.